Yeah.
Always that.
Yeah.
You've recovered now, you're excited about your
Yeah, I went back.
New Year.
Yeah.
I'm alive.
Punishment, yeah.
You rose from the dead by the
Your grace.
panacea of Dayani's kirtan.
And that.
No, I was actually talking about this the other day, like play, right? The spirit of play, silliness or whatever, playfulness. It is the highest expression of joy, right? Because it is nonsensical. Right? It is
What does that mean? Nonsensical.
nonsensical? Nonsense. It's a polite way of saying nonsense. Why? Because, but I mean it in a good way. I mean it in the sense of Oscar Wilde saying all art is quite useless. To be useless is not necessarily a bad thing. It means you've transcended the world of being useful. You've reached a higher plane. So Krishna is the Lord of play, right? Because he's exploring a finer world.
Right.
So the greatest degree of joy will be expressed as play. It is a natural thing. So we're very happy to see your Ananda this morning. Your joy. Okay, now we hear from Ananda Swarupini Devi Dasi has a question.
No,
Being away from the association of the devotees.
Yeah, that's it really. That's the best way to do. How can you do Vaishnava Seva when I'm in Derby? Yeah.
How can you do Vaishnava Seva?
Yeah. You're connected and yeah.
Well, what our gurus have given us is an aspiration, this asha, right? How does that line go? Gandharvika Giridhari Seva Matra Ashe, right? That we are always living we're constantly living in a state of aspiration. So what is mentioned in a few places? That they've given us Radhika Madhavasham. Asha. Asha means hope, aspiration. This is what our gurus have given us. They've given us an aspiration that one day we may get some service. So actually we should all be feeling like that, whether we're in the temple or we're outside of the temple. Saraswati Thakur, and he made that comment, I've been trying to offer a flower to the body of Krishna for so many lifetimes, but for hundreds or thousands of lifetimes, but still I have not been successful.
Yeah.
So to offer a flower to the feet of Mahaprabhu is not such an easy thing. To do seva for the Vaishnavas. Srila Sridhar Maharaj also made that comment once, it's not so easy to offer flower to the feet of Guru. So whether we're in the temple physically offering seva, or whether we're outside, separated from direct seva, the real Vaishnava will have that feeling, I have not been able to do any seva. Raghunath Das Goswami, Asha, again this word, Asha Badher Amrita Sindhu. He's saying, I've been living my life on this hope, on this Asha, that one day I can get your service. This is Raghunath Das Goswami in the last years of his life. He's like 80-something. He's given his whole life in divine service. And he's saying in his last days, I have not been able to serve you yet. When will I be able to? Ashabare Amrita Sindhu Mayai Katanjit Kalo Mayati Gamita Kila Sampratam Hi Tam Chet Kripam Mayi Vidasya Sinaiva Gimme Praner Rajena Cha Vadadu Bakari Napi. My whole life I've been waiting, I've been maintaining my life on this nectarian hope This hope, this asha is like Amrita Sindhu, like an ocean of nectar. Just that hope is everything. But still, I want your seva too. I'm still waiting for that. And I don't know how much longer I can go on. And if you don't give me that, everything is useless to me. My life is useless. Vrindavan is useless. Even Krishna is useless to me. So if they are feeling like that, then how should we be? So continue with your aspiration. That's all I can say. With that hope. And sometimes to be separated from direct service can be better for us because we are really tangibly feeling that we're separated from it. And when we're immersed in the direct necessities, we can get some ego sometimes, you know. And this is something I've go through, no doubt. So, we are trying to, it is, you know, Srila Sridhar Maharaj in one place, he uses the analogy of jujitsu, right? There's this technique where you use the force of the enemy against themselves, right? Martial arts.
Mm.
Right? So in the same way, we are trying to make everything favorable. Even what is unfavorable, we are making favorable in our Krishna conscious lives, practicing lives. We are trying to turn everything around, right? It is a dynamic adjustment every day. You know. How can we make this, you know, Haridas Thakur told those people in the prison, just remain as you are. You know, they were offended by that. But he wasn't trying to curse them. You know, he meant this is a good position to be in. You know, to feel your separation from God. So, whereas if you're out, you know, enjoying the comforts, luxuries, pleasures of this world, it's easy to become distracted, right? So whatever situation we're in, we're trying to capitalize on it, right? Like a good businessman, right? A businessman will find good opportunity. If there's a war going on, a good businessman will, you know, be very successful. Or what is it that is more scarce at this time? What can I sell for more? Right? Like now some things are 10 times in price, you know, because of this war going on. So some people are doing very well out of this war. Some people did very well out of COVID, and so on. So like that, we want to, even if it's a bad situation, apparently, we want to see how can I make this favorable for my spiritual life. And another thing is, this is a scientific fact, that mercy is drawn to the most needy, right? So sometimes the devotees, they even orchestrate circumstances so they're in trouble. Because then Krishna will come. Because I'm in dire need. You know, then he will come to my rescue. And Bhishma Dev, you know, he deliberately antagonizes Krishna, so Krishna will attack him because he gets joy out of that. And all kinds of things. So Kunti Devi, right? Her famous prayer, you know, Vipada Shantu, that, you know, may these troubles come again and again. So Srila Sridhar Maharaj says, we must prove to the Lord that we are the most needy. We have to, you know, how are we going to jump the queue? How are we going to get to the head of the line? So many people are crying for mercy. We have to show, why are we more needy than the other person? So you can pray to Gurudev, oh my Lord, Gurudev, oh Mahaprabhu, you know, look at me, you've thrown me to this far corner, the remote Western world in Derby, and Nobody cares about you here. And this is where I've been thrown. Please take care of me. Please give me some connection. Please help me. Give me some service. And then you will find, actually this has been the most beneficial thing for your spiritual life. Because your devotional mood is expanding, is developing. Richness of the heart, depth of the heart. This is what is needed. And another thing, another thing, and another thing, and another thing. Virachaya mayi dandam dinabandhu. This Rupa Goswami's prayer about the chatak bird. Dinabandhu dayamba gatiri hanabhavata kachid anya mamasti nipatatu shatu gatir nirbaramba navambas tadapi kila payoda duyate chatakena. The chatak bird, right? We want to be like the chatak bird. In these situations, they're like examinations in that sense, that there's so many other ideals of life, like especially in the context of a university, like literally everyone's there preparing to go into a particular field. So it's like, university is kind of like a menu of everything that you can do in the world to become healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay? So in the midst of all of that, to be like the chatak bird. Oh, I only want you, my Lord. I'm not interested in this thing or that thing over there, this pretty thing over there. I'm not interested in that, but I only want you, my Lord. And I'm waiting for your grace, I'm waiting for your drop of mercy. Now I just have to go through this. This is part of my karmic life. But in my heart, I'm holding my connection with you and aspiring for the day when my service life can take on more of a full-fledged form. We're waiting for that day. And another thing is that, and if this isn't for everyone necessarily, but if you feel that inspiration and capacity, then as we were discussing the other day, you can see how you can create some movement there as well. And you have been doing that, You've got to wait a few more years for Ananga Mantra.
You should start though.
I invite you.
And you're already doing that, actually. As you said, you're sharing, you're speaking with people. That takes some courage, actually. That takes some courage. So you're already doing that. That's wonderful. And if you have the opportunity, then you can try to create something a little more regular, more fixed. You can see if it's possible. As we were mentioning the other day, this is one way of conceiving of preaching. Like, not that I'm going out to save the world, but I need friends. So I need to make some devotees, so I have some friends. So this is also one bona fide preaching approach. Don't want to be alone, alone in Derby. Make some friends. Yeah, that's another thing. But really, a healthy practicing devotee is always in a state of aspiration. Is always feeling, I want it. I don't have it, but I want it. That it's over there. I'm looking through the glass. I can't touch it. I don't have it. The others have it. The real Vaishnavas have it. My gurus have it. But I don't have it. We're always trying to cultivate that. That is a normal, healthy feeling of the soul. to be in a state of separation. So, capitalize on that. Try to draw the mercy of the Lord. Try to draw the mercy of Guru and Gauranga. Those are my thoughts. And you will arise gloriously.
And then she arose.
She's very easy to become friends with because she's so lovely, so outgoing, so sweet. Yeah. Many friends.
I've definitely asked this before, but the theme about dealing with temptation, many faults. So that's the second topic.
You know what? Can you pass me a copy of Prapana Jivanamrita? I wanted to go through these verses. Thank you. The answer is in here.
Is it chapter 9?
Yes, you know these verses.
It's just,
yeah.
I've asked you this before, and it's good to hear it all the time.
For all of us, not only you, for me, for everyone.
We have more copies.
Yeah, last night we had a Prapana Jivanamrita workshop.
Where are the copies?
They're in here, because
Can you bring some?
there's no room on that shelf.
Oh, yeah.
Where are they?
He's getting them. It's okay.
There's one here.
So here, these are verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. And they've been discussed by our Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj, and our Param Gurudev, Srila Sridhar Maharaj. And they're very important for us. So this is chapter 9, verses 43 to 46. These are from Srimad Bhagavatam, and they're very hopeful for the conditioned soul, struggling with our lower mundane nature. Our Gurudev, he used the analogy of this punishment of dunking, right? Did you find it?
What page is that?
6, 5.
Oh, it was page 43, because that's what I heard. 165.
Nice.
Oh, the verse 43. 43 and 46.
So when someone's being dunked underwater, right, and can't breathe, and then you come up gasping for air. Dainidhi Prabhu, he mentioned the other day when he was here and he gave that class. He's like drowning in family life, and then every now and again he gets some gasp of air, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavad, Shikshashtaka. So it is like that, right? Sometimes we are coming under the control of these lower natures that we have, right? And it is understandable. Because why? Because we signed up for this. We cannot say when and for how long. It's been a long, long time. Since the beginning of time. we signed some contracts, right? And now we have to deal with the consequences. So we signed a contract with lust, with anger, with greed. Well, I want to go to another verse now.
Well, I wonder if you're going to pick my favourite verse. Let's see. 'Cause I don't remember where it is.
Okay, go to, where is it? Chapter 6, verse 7. This is a really nice verse. Oh, hang on, that's interesting. Srila Maharishi. Okay.
Yeah, this is my favourite verse in this book.
Really?
And I forgot which one. Ever since I read it, I forgot where the verse was.
Okay, wow, look at that. Full circle.
Going back to you.
So let's chant it together. Kamadi nam katina katida palita doni deshas tesham jatamai nakaluna natapa nopashanti uchijaitanata yarupate sampratam labda buddhis tvamayata sharanam abhayam mamnim shatmadasye. So he's saying here, this is, Srila Maharaj says this verse is perhaps Madhavendrapuri, but not completely known, so they just put it to, some great devotee, but we believe quite likely Madhavendrapuri. So he's saying, like, for how long, Katita, I don't know for how long, but I've been following the orders. Kam Adi, right? Kam is lust, Adi means beginning with, right? So it's referring to, means it's a list. Kam and everything else. Kam, krodh, lobh, moha, mada, matsarja, lust, anger, greed, madness, illusion, envy. Envy's the worst one. Avoid envy and you're good. Everything else will just over time leave you. All these other things. Through the chanting of the holy name, through Vaishnava Seva, all of our lower natures will leave us. The real one to look out for is envy. That's the real problem for our spiritual life. But anyway, this is also something to discuss. So he's saying, kama adi, like all these things, I've been Dorni Desha, right? This is, a Desh is referring to an order. Dorni is referring to like a wicked, like the wicked orders. Palita means like I've been following. So he's perceiving this clear distinction between who he is. Because, normally we're identifying with these things, right? I'm angry, I am lusty, I am envious, right? I am this. Actually, we're not that. That's the first thing to remember. These things are all coming from the ego and the senses, right? But the who is the I within is pure. So here Madhavendrapuri is conceiving of these as entities separate from him, who are dictating to him. There's a recording of Srila Maharaj talking about this verse. It's very wonderful. And he speaks about, he really brings it to life with some examples, like the anger, made me go and attack somebody, The greed made me steal something, and like this, And in the middle of the night, they dragged me out to do this and to do that. So for so long, since time immemorial, I've been faithfully, this palita, I've been faithfully following their orders for so long. But what do I find? They've expressed zero appreciation for all of my hard work. I've been serving them so faithfully, and they haven't na karuna. They haven't showed one drop of mercy to me. Can't see a smile. Can't even see the glimmer of a smile on their face after everything I've done for them. And what's even more embarrassing, natrapa. I've never felt. Neither have I felt any shame in what I've been doing. Like this Stockholm Syndrome, right? People they become attached to their wicked master, right? So I've been following them so faithfully, but they've never shown any mercy to me. They've never expressed any happiness about what I've done, and I've just been going on doing it, like a complete fool. And I haven't felt any shame about it either. And then no pashanti, and I haven't felt the desire to desist, or the way Srila Sridhar said it, have some temporary truce, like we're just gonna put this on hold for a while. But no, unceasingly this is going on, and I'm not getting anything out of it. And I don't want to stop either, and I have no shame about it. What kind of a despicable position is this to be in? But suddenly, uchijaitan tayarupte sampratam labda buddhis, buddhi, intelligence, labda. I've obtained some intelligence. Some spiritual intelligence, some grace. And I have come running to you. This is actually something to remember, right? That we get those moments of clarity, right? Maybe we're living our heads are in the clouds most of the time. And then for some moments, right, the clouds part and you see the sun and you have proper clarity. So when those moments come, you have to capitalize on them. And that's when you go and do something crazy, like join the temple, or you take saffron, or you make a vow of seva for the rest of your life. And then the clouds come together, and you're like, why did I do that, man? What was I thinking? But it's too late. You already signed up. Or you took initiation, you committed to chant your rounds every day. What was I thinking? But it's too late. You already signed up. You signed the contract. And then you're going on for some time, oh man, why did I do that? But then the clouds, they part again, oh, thank God I did that. Thank God I made the right decision. So suddenly this intelligence came to me, and I've given all these uchijaitam, I've rejected all these things, and I've come running to you, my Lord. Yarupate, I've come to your feet. Tvamayata sharanam abhayam mam niyukshat nan mam niyukshat madasi. Now please engage me. Please give me your service. Why? Because if you don't engage me, they're going to engage me. But if they see I'm busy with you, I've got a higher boss now, and they're going to back off. And he's with those guys. I'm not going to mess with him. He's with the higher authority now. It's outside of our jurisdiction. Srila Sridhar also said in there that actually this was in another explanation, but similar. idea. He was saying that those beings, right, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, they'll be afraid. Oh, we'll be converted. You know, we don't want to get too close. We'll be converted too.
It feels really good to somehow to consider that it's like something is external to my deep being. Those things, not the
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's so good. It feels less guilty. For what we have done.
And Srila Maharaj also, another thing he said in his explanation of this verse, he said that, no matter what the record book says, right, that if these entities, they see, we're being engaged by a higher master, then they'll let it go, Because otherwise they may say, hey, I've got some accounting here, like you owe me this, you owe me that, you promised me this, and what about that? I've got it all written down here, you owe me. But if they see, oh, he's being engaged by Krishna, then we better back off. We need shelter. This is one point. It is because we are very finite. The jiva soul, qualitatively speaking, we are higher energy than this maya, this material energy. We are superior energy. We are, but the problem is that we are very, very tiny, and our tendency is to become enveloped by a greater power, to come under the shelter of a greater power. So we need to be in some type of shelter, ashray. So what are we going to take shelter of, right? We need a master. We cannot avoid that. That is our nature. So, who is your God? What is your God? If Krishna is not your God, then money is going to be your God, or sex is going to be your God, or drugs is going to be your music, or whatever it may be, right? Or your dog is going to be your God, as Swami Maharaj said. They've left God and they're worshipping dog. So we can't avoid, or the Beatles, or Michael Jackson, or whoever the latest big thing is. I'm not up to date. Or football stars. So that's the thing, we need to give our devotion to something or someone. We can't avoid it. But if we're giving that to Krishna, then the other things will leave us alone. Say, oh, he's busy. We'll go to somebody else. We'll go bother somebody else. So that is one thing that can be very helpful. Engage in something else. Engage in some seva. We can also cry out, right? In one place, Raghunath Das Goswami is saying, call out the names of the Vaishnavas, right? When we are in trouble. Call out the names of the Vaishnavas. And that, again, going back to our discussion at the beginning, we want to capitalize like good businessmen, right? So I'm being attacked by lust. Krishna, look at me. Gurudev, look at me, how helpless I am. Help me, man. Then that's also bringing out a feeling of humility. Oh, I'm so low. How shameful is my condition. When we're forced to confront our lower natures, it's humiliating, highly humiliating. Oh, this is what I amount to, And it is very humbling, and that humility draws the grace of the Lord. Look at me, I'm so helpless. My senses are totally taking control of me right now. The lust, the greed, the anger. How embarrassing. How shameful. Look at Nangamanji nodding her head like, yeah, right. You don't know about these things. So actually, it can actually put us in a very good position, ultimately. Because the Lord doesn't care. He doesn't care what we did at the pub last night. Or he doesn't care how many pieces of chocolate cake we had. He really does not care at all. And he also doesn't care what you didn't do last night. He doesn't care that you didn't go to the pub last night, or you didn't smoke cigarettes, like you didn't go out and do whatever. He also doesn't care about that. He just cares about your heart, your devotion. What are you giving? Again, businessman mentality. There's this one Korean drama I watched recently, and like this whole like political and business dynasty, and this one businessman, like totally evil guy, right? And somebody, and they're like making all these deals, like breaking the law, and they're just interested in making money. And then somebody asked him about someone, do you think so-and-so really did like this embezzlement? Do you really think this person embezzled this money? And he said, and the main guy's like, I don't care if he embezzled it or not. Like, I just want to make money. Like, I don't care if somebody broke the law. And he says like, if I made money, then I was successful. And if I didn't make money, then I was a failure. Following the law, breaking the law, like that's not a factor. And I was so happy to hear that, because this is exactly the mood in devotion. Like, there is no right or wrong. There is no good or bad. None of that matters. This sattva gun, raja gun, tama gun, like, who cares? Like, how much love do you have in your heart for Krishna? How much love do you have for Guru? And who cares about everything? We don't care. It doesn't matter. Nobody's checking. Nobody's checking that. And we know what you did and what you didn't do. And even in the service world, how many temples you've opened, we were hearing from, what's his name, Jagannath Prabhu yesterday, how in ISKCON they used to have, I don't think they do it anymore, no, but previously they would keep track of how many heads you could shave. Like you got points. What were they called? Who was there with us? You were there. What was it like, Bhakti points or something?
Lakshmi points.
No. This
Bhakti
was
points.
no. It was like how many people you could convert.
Oh yeah.
And Tari knows all about it too. They will keep track, like how many people you got to shave their heads. And then there would be like a competition.
Yeah.
And even if like somebody joined and shaved their head and then they left 3 days later, it still counted. Like there wasn't really a real transformation that took place, but in that moment you got them to shave their head.
You got them to the door.
Yeah, then you get your point. They were keeping record and comparing and like that. So but that doesn't matter. Okay, you got 50 people to shave their heads, you got 100 people. Where are you? What do you have in your heart today? That's the question. You opened 20 centers, whatever it is that you did. You washed 50 pots. What's in your heart here and now? How much sacrificing tendency of the ego, not of the body, not of the mind, but of the ego. And okay, you did all of that, and now you're proud of that, then it's all spoiled. So okay, you joined yesterday, but you've got it in your heart. So none of those things. Yesterday, yesterday you were on the street doing all kinds of unspeakable things, but today you're here, you're a new person. And you've been following everything for the last 50 years, but I don't find anything in you. Right? So it's a different calculation. It's a different calculation. We're not interested in renunciation. We're not interested in exploitation. We're interested in devotion. What do you have in your heart today, here and now? There's one comment of Gurudev, and it's in that book, I've forgotten the name, the yellow one, the...
Divine guidance?
Yes, thank you, Dee. He says the result is existing within consciousness. The result is existing within consciousness. That's what we're looking for. And he also, and maybe it's the same section, maybe somewhere else in the book, he also speaks about how, again, this is related to the first thing we talked about, this lolyam, this hunger. How much dharma sanustitapam sam, this Bhagavatam verse, everything that we're doing should bring us to the point of wanting to hear more. More desire to hear and to serve. The desire, that's what it all comes down to. Saraswati Thakur riding into Vrindavan in a big motor car in the 1930s. What could be a better, he made some expression like, what was it exactly, the wording? What could be better than to be, or he said something like one may be riding in a big motor car, but have the aspiration to roll in the dust of Vrindavan. Along those lines, right? Like, ostensibly you see I'm riding in a big motor car, looking very proud. But in my heart, I want to roll in the dust of Vrindavan. But I'm not cheaply doing that. Am I going to pretend I have that type of devotion, that I want to roll in the dust like so many others are doing? Imitating the Goswamis, right? Imitating Rupa and Sanatan. We will imitate our gurus, Rupa and Sanatan, taking their dress. What is that? No, rather I will wear these fancy clothes and drive this fancy car, and I will keep that in my heart. I'm not going to imitate, and I'm going into another subject matter. But going back to Gurudev's words there, saying that, he says, we can do so many auspicious things for the Lord, right? So many things we can do. Doing the puja and cooking and prasadam distribution and cleaning the temple and so on. And he says, but in order to awaken this type of lolyam, this type of desire, we need to hear the topics of the Lord. We need to hear the pastimes of the Lord. We need to develop some taste in that way. And the more that taste develops, then these other things will just fade away, right? We need that higher taste, right? We need to be attracted to something more, something higher. And once that taste comes, then all these other things will automatically become distasteful. So, a lot of the time, all we can do is just hang in there, right? Just hang in there and wait. There's a transition period taking place. Just hang in there. Try to stay steady. Try to continue. And there's a struggle, but it is also a sweet struggle. Because there's like someone training, like an Olympic athlete, right? Training. There's how much struggle they go through. Right? but there's some sweetness there, there's some prospect, there's some goal. So then it becomes a sweet struggle. Think of a great Shakespearean drama. Oh, the pathos. What struggles they went through. What trials, what tribulation. But then in the end, they reach the lotus feet of the Lord. Then everything becomes glorious. Otherwise it would be very boring, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I was born. I surrendered. The end. It's pretty boring. The Lord likes some drama too. When He wants to rescue us, He wants to come in and be the hero. So there has to be some struggle. And we become great by that, actually. That we can face the struggle and continue. That being able to face our own imperfection and continue, that is something. Oh, just forget it. You know, we could easily say that. Oh, never mind. Could do something else. You know, why do I need to beat myself up all the time? You know, I'm just going to embrace who I am. I'm going to go and jump into the world of the senses and just let it go. Live a life of hedonism. Like the ancient Greeks, you know, they would have these orgies, right? And they would stuff themselves, and then they'd make themselves throw up, vomit. And then they go stuff themselves again.
I've never heard of that.
You haven't heard that yet?
That's weird. Bunch of weirdos.
Bulimic.
No, but it wasn't a mental condition, it was just practical. I need to keep enjoying the tongue, but my stomach is full. So
let's throw it up and then eat more.
It's a very intelligent strategy.
Yeah, definitely.
Because they didn't believe there was another life, right? That's why they lived, they were hedonists, right? This is all we got, you know, make the most of it, enjoy to the utmost. And then Socrates came along and says, actually guys, sorry to burst your bubble, but there's a soul, and the soul doesn't die. And they're like, we gotta lock this guy up.
Did they?
Yeah, they killed him.
What?
Yeah. He was spreading, you know, false ideas and stirring up trouble and kind of stuff. And they killed him. They made him drink poison. And he fearlessly faced that because he could have avoided it. He had an escape route, but he faced it to prove, I'm not afraid of death. No, I know the soul doesn't die. I know it's coming very clearly. I can see that clear as day. So he fearlessly faced that.
Wow.
So. But the main thing is, like, we know there's no other way, right? And we know we only have one path in life. And come what may, you know, we will continue on that path, right? And one day we'll struggle with this, another day we'll struggle with that. You know, there's the gross struggle of the body and the senses, and there's also the more subtle struggle with envy, you know, desire for pratishta, right, for recognition, for fame, on a more subtle level. Then there's also, you know, deviation from the ideal, right, in the plane of gyan, knowledge, you know. There's so many subtle deviations also. Those are more dangerous, more insidious. So, the main thing is we are trying to stick to the line of our gurus, right? The line of their grace, the channel of their grace. We want to stay within the jurisdiction of their mercy. And then we'll be okay. But there must be a struggle. There will be a struggle of one kind or another. That's what makes it all alive, actually, that we're struggling. We must struggle to live. The body is struggling at every moment. The body doesn't get a break. Like all of our organs, they're all working all the time. They're struggling to keep alive. Right? So if we're not struggling, it's over. Progress means struggle. Progress means that we are resisting the flow of this world. That's going to be a struggle. Right? The standard mode of this world is exploitation, and we're trying to resist. We're going against that current. So there's going to be a struggle. We are asserting dedication in the world of exploitation. There's going to be a struggle. Srila Saraswati Thakur, he says in one place, Kirtan means a fight. Kirtan means a fight, because we are opposing the status quo. This vibration is opposing the Mayic vibration within this world. So there must be a struggle. It's a good sign. It means that we're awake. We're doing something. Because another thing is, these things, they can be like just quietly sitting in some corner of our heart, right? Like a very dirty room, that's been sitting for so long. And then you go and start cleaning it and you uncover, oh God, there's like a rat's nuts over here, and there's some cockroaches building something over here. They're just like, quietly undercover, having a good time. We weren't even aware of it. But now we started cleaning, everything's coming up. So it's like that, like all these things, these, lower tendencies, they're just kind of like embedded in our consciousness. We didn't even notice them. We weren't aware of them. But now we've started the cleaning. The Gundicha Marjan is taking place. Cleaning of the temple of the heart. And everything's getting shaken up. Everything's getting stirred up. Oh God, I didn't know this was here. I didn't know that was there. Oh my goodness. This is going to take a lot longer than I thought. So it's all a good sign, ultimately. There's some movement taking place. Jai Shri Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Bhakti Rakshak Sundar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Would you sing for us, Ananda Surupani? Thank you all for your wonderful company and giving me the opportunity to speak on these topics for my own purification.
It's not a goodbye. We'll come soon. We love to have you more often over here.
What page?
Jaya Sapaikara Sisi Kuranga Sundar Radha Giri Hari Kirki Om Vishnu Patsila Bhakti Nimalacharya Maharaj Ki Om Vishnu Patsila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Om Vishnu Patsila Bhakti Rakshila Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Bhagavan Sila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Sri Rupa Nuka Guruvaraga Ki Namacharya Sila Haridas Thakur Ki Sri Sri Acharya Vrinda all cartels ki, all glories to the assembled devotees ki, all glories to the world devotees ki, Sri Ekadasi Bhatta ki, Harinam Sankirtan ki, Sri Yukta Vishakha Devi ki, Harinam Sankirtan ki,
Hari Hari Bol.